start by telling you a story. So, my 17-year-old, she's going to be a senior in high school tomorrow, and last night she went out with friends, and she got home. She was supposed to be home at 11:45, and she got home at 12:15. So she was texting me. So I'm like, Isabel, when are you getting home? So she comes in, and she's a half hour late, and she's like, Mom, I'm so sorry. We were in the hot tub, we didn't have our phones, I'm so sorry. And she was very nice about it, and I said, it's fine. You know, you can do an extra chore. Let's pick something you don't like. How about the dishes? And she's like, okay, that's fair. I'll do them for 3 days. I'm like, okay, I was only gonna make you do them one, so 3 is good. So if you actually ask kids what their consequence should be, they usually pick something harsher than you would pick, unless you're abusive. I hope you will never be. That's why I'm telling you this story. Okay, so my daughter says, you know, fine, I'll do the dishes. And I said, that's fine, it's okay, good night, I'm glad you had fun. She goes to bed. So then she texts me from her room, Mom, I'm so sorry. I would be so angry if my kid did that to me. And I said, well, maybe because I didn't get angry at you, you won't get angry if your kid does that to you. And I said, you're a really good girl, and you're gonna make mistakes, just don't make any big ones. Ha ha. And then I said, just kidding, if you make a big one, I still love you anyway. It's totally fine. So then today, I'm at work at my other job, and she texts me, I cleaned up the whole downstairs, and I tried to get Luke to do his part. So the point of this story, well, I'm not going to tell you the point of it quite yet. So last night, as I'm waiting for her to get home, I flashed back to when I was a teenager, and that's why this is so important. When I was a teenager, I had very strict parents. Verbally abusive, not physically abusive. I'm sure many of you have come from abusive backgrounds. So I, same age as my daughter, and I hadn't thought about this for a long time. Same age as my daughter, it's the first day of summer going into my senior year, and I am, woohoo, it's summer. And so I go to my best friend's house, she lives down the street from me, and I want to go see my boyfriend though. So I'm at my best friend's house, I'm spending the night, go see my boyfriend, come back, my mom's car is in her driveway. So I'm like, oh shit, this isn't good. So I like sneak around the side of the house, and there's this like big sliding door that you can see into the house. And so I see my best friend sitting there, and I see her and my mom, but my mom doesn't see me, but she sees me. So she sees me like out of the corner of her eye, and I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? Oh my God. And she's like ignoring me, which was very good. So she just ignores me, keeps talking to my mom. So I'm like, so. All right, so I'm like, okay, what do you do when you know you're in deep shit? You play innocent, right? So I come in the house, I'm like, oh, hi Mom, what are you doing here? And she's like, you get your butt home, you know, you're in so much trouble. So I go home, and my dad, who was very strict, they're so pissed. He's like, he thought I was acting weird before I went to her house. So the fact that I went to see my boyfriend was totally out of line, and I was grounded for a week. So most of you know, at 17, like being grounded the first week of the summer, you might as well have just shot me. I mean, it was like very traumatic. I was so mad. So what did I learn from that? Get better at lying and sneaking, A. B, I can't wait to get out of this house and live my own life. And my parents don't understand me. My parents don't care about me. I'm kind of on my own. So I couldn't say, hey, gosh, I just wanted to see my boyfriend for a little bit, and I knew you wouldn't let me. I was wrong, I'm sorry. I couldn't say that. They didn't matter, right? So my parents, I love my parents so much. My dad is dead. And this is not a blame your parents class at all. But it's to understand how you've been treated in your life, whether it's by parents or society or whoever it is, and how we can make changes so we can be the change that we would like to see in the world. So at that time, this is what I remembered last night. At that time, I decided, if I am ever a parent, I am not doing this to my kid. I will never do that to my kid. And so last night, I was like, oh, and it was this amazing bonding with my daughter. And I have great teenagers. People complain about their teenagers all the time. I adore my teenagers. They are fabulous. They're not perfect, they make mistakes. I adore them. So I want to teach you the importance of treating your kids, if you have kids, or your partner, or whoever is in your life, with respect and understanding, even if they feel differently than you. And one of the ways that you're going to do that is through this class. So one of the things we do in this class is you post every week. Some of you, how many of you had a chance to look at the class? Okay, so you know you post every week, and then you do 2 replies, right? So you usually post on Monday. This week you're posting on Wednesday, and then the replies are on Friday, Thursday. I think it's Thursday. It's usually Thursday, so I think I did Wednesday, Thursday this week. Okay, so the replies. I always read your feedback when you fill out your evaluations, and one semester someone said something like, oh, the replies are stupid, or it's just useless, or what's the point? The point of the replies, I do ask you to reference the material because I want to make sure you're reading it and understanding it. But the point of the replies is also to support your fellow students. There's so many people who have been abused or hurt in their lives, and they feel alone in it. And when you reach out to somebody and say, hey, I related to your post, that happened to me too, or I feel the same way, or I don't feel the same way, but I understand where you're coming from, even though I think this. I actually ask you to disagree in a couple posts because it's not about agreeing with the other person, it's about being respectful whether you agree or not. So the replies are really important. So I'm asking you to put not only your brains into this class, but your heart. So I want you to take those replies and I want you to put your heart into them. And I want you to support each other because this world is a difficult place and it's getting more difficult as time goes on. When I was a kid, there were no school shootings. I mean, there was one in the 80s, but we didn't know of any school shootings, and it didn't feel so scary out there. It still was scary out there, but we didn't have the internet, so you didn't hear everything, get bombarded with everything. So it is so important to come from a place of love and kindness. And in this class, I put my heart into it, and I put my brain into it, and I want you to put those 2 things into it too. So if you skim over the material, you can cheat. You can read another student's post and you can cheat off of them. And you can go, oh, I'm gonna put that. I didn't read it, but they did. I'm gonna use them. And you know what, that pisses me off and I don't really get angry, but don't do that to your fellow students. Have the respect to do your own work. And last semester it was really clear to me how many students were doing that. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. It's not fair. It's not respectful to yourself. It's not respectful to your fellow students. And read the material. The Positive Discipline book, whether you're going to be a parent or not, it's going to teach you what went wrong with your parents or what went right. Maybe you're going to go, oh my God, that's why my parents were so awesome. They did these techniques. Or maybe you're going to go, they didn't do any of this and I really hurt. Because you know what parents do to make their kids behave? They shame them. They ridicule them. They blame them. They criticize them. They don't treat them with respect because they're kids. Treat a 2-year-old with respect. It doesn't matter. You can discipline with respect and love. And that's what the book's going to teach you. So read it. That pisses me off too. Don't skim the book and find the quote or just read my lecture and pretend like you read the book. Oh, in the book it says. I'm like, you didn't read the book. I know you didn't read the book. I know. I'm onto you. So, read the book. And the SOC, that has the 2 sides of every issue. Okay, maybe some of it's boring, but if you read both sides, you're going to read one side and go, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then you're going to read the other side and you're probably going to go, oh wow, that makes sense too. So it helps open your mind. We've got to be able to see the other side. Our country is so polarized right now. So I want you to understand the other side. You don't have to agree with it, but understand it. And understand your fellow students who have a different viewpoint of you. So that's my takeaway that I really want you to know is that don't cheat, read the material. I've put my heart and soul into this. You put your heart and soul into it, and you're going to learn so much about yourself, your families, your relationships, society at large. Because this is sociology, a lot of this is about society. So all of that you're going to learn in this class. Okay, bye.